I'm very much a fan of making things because like nowadays with fast fashion, it's not particularly well made stuff, so they just fall apart sooner rather than later. But I think it's important to at least have a crack at fixing it once or twice.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think KSI and Logan Paul do that?
I think they probably just have a fire going in their front. Doesn't Logan Paul live in Bermuda? No, he lives somewhere like Costa Rica or something. He lives in an island, his own island, I think, in the middle of.
I don't think he owns Costa Rica, Pete.
No, I don't think he owns Costa Rica. But if the Costa Rican government, they would hand it over for cash. The way that they're handing out massive amounts of lands to.
Apparently they have got a house in Puerto Rico.
Right,
it's a
Puerto
gated
Rico
community though.
Yeah, okay, all right. Well, I thought it was an island off the coast of, but it's very much a gated community on the. The Prime Minister lives in a gated community on an island in London. The Isle of Dogs. The Isle of Dogs.
Tiny island because he's a tiny man.
Yeah. So they were on stage and people were throwing bottles of Prime at them.
I couldn't work because I'm so old. I couldn't work out if it was a compliment or a protest.
I think it was I don't think they were really unhappy about the new flavour that they'd released. I think it was very much a work. I think that they asked them to throw bottles of Prime, which must be annoying if you are just a person who rents out lights or televisions or basically just work security for wherever they were. Were they in Nottingham, I think? Yeah.
Why do? So when I was a kid, I used to get obsessed with stuff because that's one of the things. Right? So I used to love certain things like. I don't know. Guns N' Roses would be a good one.
Yeah.
I used to love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when I was a bit younger. I used to love
Red
Lego.
Dwarf.
I used to have interests.
Yeah.
But I don't know why young people now will just do whatever these people say. It happened with Mr. Beast as well, didn't it? They just do anything that the people say to do. They just do it.
But it's like a mixture of like people who are in the fandom of like. They're almost disciples, aren't they? I suppose they'll do whatever. But I mean, if you were on stage and someone asked you to throw something on stage, you would do it, wouldn't you? For a laugh. I remember my favourite bit of any festival ever was Reading Festival, the Concrete Jungle stage. The band Midtown were on. I've told the story before. The lead singer shouted, "Has anyone got any gum?" Little did he know that walking into the main arena that morning, they were handing out like 3 or 4 boxes of chewing gum each. So everyone had chewing gum in their pockets, and what followed was a torrent raining down of pieces of chewing gum. It was brilliant. But like that is kind of the vibe at the moment. Like, did you see that Pink was on stage and somebody handed her a big wheel of cheese? Somebody threw their mother's ashes on her.
That's a bit much.
That is a bit much. Don't get it on the cheese, for crying out loud.
What's the reason for that?
What is the reason? Well, I don't know. Maybe the mum really loved a bit of Pink.
I told you someone I know once stole some ashes from someone.
Stole? Why? What business do they have doing that?
Because they're obsessed with that person who died.
Oh, what? They stole... They said, give me the... I'm going to grab... Yeah, so they stole... They kidnapped.
Some of the ashes and took them home with them.
Some of...
I think so.
Oh, Lord.
And then they had to return them surreptitiously.
That is
which
grim.
they then did, I think.
Right, okay.
No one knows about it, so I can't name them.
Good. I mean, it's pretty grim, isn't it?
But like, it's one of those stories where they said to me, "Oh yeah," and it's like quite embarrassing. They were talking about them doing it like 20 years ago, and they said it's quite embarrassing. And obviously, I'm someone who I think I'm someone who's quite at ease in most conversations. So yeah. I don't think I actually think that part of the reason they told me was because they would be like, "Oh right."
I think I would probably turn to ashes if I had to deal with the fallout of that conversation. Yeah,
the fact that it was me that didn't know what to say made it worse. So I never shut up normally. And I was just a bit like, that's a bit much.
Please don't steal my ashes.
I know, but I put them back. I put them back. I was like, okay, yeah, but at the very best case scenario, that makes it neutral.
Not even neutral, because it's happened, hasn't it? It's happened. You've done it.
I guess it depends on your philosophical outlook. Because if you think, once you're dead, you're dead. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's very much what it's not about what you feel. I guess it's the dead person. They must have had a pretty strong policy. Everyone take a dab if you want.
What about when everyone threw stuff at Daphne and Celeste at Reading? I remember that.
Yeah, but I mean, but there was a person who threw a mobile phone at an act this week, and it bonked off her head, and she had a really black eye.
Oh, it's not good, is it?
It's not great, but the guy was like, I just thought it would be a laugh. And I was going, I mean, you need to explain that. You need to. There were two things that happened this week. There was a lot of these instances of people throwing stuff at acts, musical acts, and then there was the Grimace video TikTok craze. Have you seen Have you seen this?
No.
It's McDonald's have started a Grimace flavoured or celebratory milkshake, and it's bright purple. I'm not really sure what it tastes of. Raspberry maybe, and it's basically because Grimace is 50 years old or whatever the fuck, and so they've made this purple milkshake in celebration, and these kids are doing these TikToks where they'll go, "Oh, happy birthday, Grimace! I'm just going to try this new Grimace flavoured milkshake from McDonald's," and they just cut. And the person's dead, and there's milkshake everywhere, and everyone's doing really funny bits. All these kids are doing really funny Grimace bits, and it just shows how fucking funny the kids are. But then there's kids who'll decide to just throw phones at people. It's your phone. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Don't boast about it afterwards. It's brilliant.